I'm Jeff Philbin. This is Dinner DeeAs, with an idea for dinner that's hearty and heart healthy, without failing on flavor, as we bring you a bowl of Mediterranean salmon and quinoa served with a roasted red pepper and carrot ginger puree. My guest again today in the Dinner DeeAs kitchen is moi. It's just the two of us, mano y mano, again today, as I bring you another recipe by request. Our letter today is from Patty and her hubby Charlie. They're watching in Newport Richey. Hi, you two. You guys look great over there. A little date night action, it looks like. Patty found us at facebook.com/dinnerdeas and told us she's looking for some heart-healthy ideas for dinner. My hubby just had open heart surgery, and I have to learn to cook differently. Love your show. Well, first off, wishing you the absolute very best of health and a speedy recovery to you, Charlie. I really am. And thank you so much to the two of you for both watching this show. Now, I've come up with a dish that's delicious for everyone and showcases a heart-healthy star. Today, I'm going to share how to make a Mediterranean salmon and quinoa bowl with a roasted red pepper and carrot ginger puree. Now, Patty, here's why this is the absolute perfect meal for Charlie. You've got salmon. Now, salmon is an absolutely beautiful protein. It's rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Those are the good fats that you want. Then we got quinoa. Now, if you've never cooked with it before, it's a grain alternative that's dense in nutrients. It's high in fiber, which lowers LDL, which is bad cholesterol, and helps regulate the blood sugar. Now, you've got some great proteins, a quinoa here. You got to also have your veggies here. So we've got bell peppers. They're loaded in vitamin C and antioxidants. We've got carrots, which are high in beta-carotene, which is perfect for promoting heart and vision. These are just like nature's power punch here. And we also have pine nuts, olive oil, and lemon juice. Now, these are going to be really healthy fats. They're going to bring a nice little bit of flavor behind it all as well, because with that lemon, you're going to get acid. You're not going to get salt. All of this is a sodium-free dish. So I want to start roasting some vegetables because this is going to bring a nice bit of flavor behind this entire dish. It's actually going to be kind of the glue that's going to bring it all together. So what we have here are these bell peppers. Now, I've already taken the tops off of them. I've already cored them. And all I'm just trying to do is just quarter them. I want to just quarter them because I want uniform slices to cook properly as we roast them. So I just am going right down the middle. And this is okay if you have a nice rough chop to them there, but you want to have equal size behind it. I also took our carrots. Now, I made sure that when I was cutting them, that these were going to be of uniform size. Why did I do that, you might ask? Because I want them to cook at the same time. I want a nice, beautiful property behind it. We're just going to hit this with a little bit of some olive oil, and we're also going to play around with some ginger. Now, at home, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, cool. I love ginger. I love the flavor of ginger. I just don't know how to peel it. So all you really need to do when it comes to taking ginger is a spoon. And all you want to do is just scrape the peel. That's it. The spoon, I find, is the absolute best. You have great control within your finger. It's almost as if you're kind of like writing a note to someone, and you have that control to just scrape everything. And what I like about this is that it's a little bit better than a knife, because with a knife, you might actually be holding onto it, and when you're coming around different edges of it, you have the potential to possibly cut yourself, and you don't want to cut yourself when you're cooking, okay? So this, because of its softer edges, allows for a nice little bit more control, but also around these areas that maybe there's like an indentation, you can kind of curve around it, which is absolutely really, really nice. Now, I've already done some from before, so I don't have to go through this whole one. I just wanted to show you that whole process. And then all you're going to do at that point, too, is you're going to take your microplane. And this microplane is perfect because here you can just get a nice little bit more of all that beautiful flavor, and it's just going to be nice and ground. And you can see it come right through, like so. And all I'm going to do is just add it to my already existing little bit of our ginger. Now, I'm going to take some now, and I'm going to take some later. I'm going to use this when we're going to make a puree with it for later on. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just going to throw this right onto our sheet pan with that olive oil, and now a little bit of some cracked red pepper. And that's it. We're not adding salt. Again, this is a sodium-free dish here. I'm just going to bring my hands to make sure that the ginger massages itself in with the pepper, which is going to coat all of these beautiful vegetables. That's going to bring a nice little bit of flavor. Now, I already have a preheated oven at 425, and all I want to do with this here is I want to roast them. Upwards of 25 minutes, it's going to be perfect. Now that we've got that done, let's talk about our quinoa. Now, all of those beautiful ingredients, those vegetables there, are going to make a nice puree. But I want to be able to rinse this. I want to be able to rinse this because there's a natural chemical here that's actually going to be taking away from the integrity of this. And what I want is to take away from that bitterness. So the saponins here are going to be rinsed off with just a little bit of some water. And I'm just going to massage it in there and a little bit of water. And you can start seeing it kind of clump together as such. But I'm trying to get all these saponins out of here. And that's it. You just need a little bit, about 30 seconds worth, to get a nice little bit of it out. I've got it in a strainer so that way then I could drain more of that water out. Well, I've got a nice pan here that's already been heated. And all I want to do is actually just toast this a little bit. Because we're not adding a lot of different flavor ingredients here, we're really just taking all of our ingredients and accentuating that flavor. So what I want to do here is just toast it a little bit. Bring out a nice natural nuttiness behind it, if you will, with just a little bit of olive oil. This is also going to allow for it to evaporate out that water, and you can see all of that gone. The smells in here are already starting to get nice and toasty. And this smells absolutely fantastic. Patty, Charlie, and everyone else that's looking in, grab my recipe for this dish at dinnerdeas.com. The fastest way to find us is with your phone. Use the QR code we have down in the corner of the screen. All you need to do, just open the camera app as if you're about to take a photo, and when it's in frame, in focus, and big enough, a link to us will pop up on your phone. Now, you can see all that water has evaporated out. If you had smell-o-vision, you'd smell just that little bit of a nuttiness behind it, and this is absolutely perfect time. Now, we're going to add in our vegetable broth. Now, vegetable broth here is absolutely fantastic, and the reason why I like a vegetable broth for this dish is that it's going to be sodium-free. Again, Charlie, we got to make sure that the ticker's good for you and Patty to have another date night over here. So we got a sodium-free vegetable stock here. You're going to get so much more flavor than just adding water. Now, if you at home want to add water, you certainly can, but at least get a little bit more flavor out of it. Speaking of adding flavor, I'm going to have a little bit of garlic powder in here. I like the garlic powder in this dish here because it's going to have a little bit more concentrated flavor. The quinoa, we've taken some of that nuttiness to give it some flavor. The vegetable broth is going to give it just a little bit of flavor, but this garlic powder, this is really what's going to help bring more life behind it. Once we get to a nice stage where those vegetables can be roasted down, tossed into a puree with it, you're going to get a little bit layer. But we're building, and building. All we're going to do here is we're going to bring this right up to a boil. And once we get that to a boil, we're going to put a lid on it, we're going to let it simmer, and we're going to drop that heat. When we come back after the break, a simple way to get sensational salmon with a handful of easy ingredients ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. I'm here to help today answering a recipe request from Patty in Newport Richey. She wanted a heart-healthy idea for dinner for her hubby Charlie. So I've come up with this dish of a Mediterranean salmon and quinoa bowl with a roasted red pepper and carrot ginger puree. And yes, to everyone else watching, you're all allowed to make it too. And not just for Charlie, but for you too, because Patty's already got Charlie covered. Before the break, I got the red peppers roasted, taking out the stem and the seeds, coating them with olive oil, then tossing carrots with olive oil and ginger, and adding them to the pan and getting it all into a 425 oven for about 20 minutes. Meanwhile, I rinsed and drained some quinoa. It's a beautiful, good-for-you grain. I toasted it first, giving a natural, nice little nuttiness behind it there, and added veggie broth, garlic powder, and brought it to a boil and left it simmering where it's just doing its thing. Now we can have some fun with our protein. It's salmon. Now, you at home are saying to yourself, hey, Jeff, can I use a frozen salmon? Let me tell you, my friends, You absolutely can. But what you want to make sure that you're doing is you're going to let it thaw completely out before you do anything. You don't want to have a raw protein here, but absolutely. This is a fresh salmon here, but if you at home had frozen, just let it thaw out. This is also skinless as well. If you at home wanted to have the skin on and you said, hey, you're going to be roasting it, I like the skin on, absolutely, go for it. Put it into a nice little bit of a frying pan, get that oil to really create a nice little bit of a coating behind it. Absolutely, you can do this. But for this recipe, we're going to roast it. So I've got a nice lined sheet pan here. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil, and this is going to be a nice bonding agent here that's going to allow for the introduction of more essential fats. Olive oil is an absolutely beautiful fat to go with already a very rich in omega-3 protein like salmon. And this is really good for the heart. So Charlie, I'm telling you, my friend, this is a good dish for you. All right, so I also have a little bit of some lemon zest. I love lemon zest. It has all the natural oils that you would want out of this dish. And what's going to be really nice is that it brings a nice little bit of concentrate behind it. So I'm just going to throw a little bit on. My hands are just a little bit sticky from that oil, which is fine, because what I can do is massage it in. So I just want to make sure that I'm not going to have clumps of this lemon zest anywhere around it, but I'm getting all these beautiful flavors. Now you're saying to yourself, all right, Jeff, well, that's great. You got lemon zest. What goes really well with that? A little bit of some lemon juice. So this is that fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I'm just going to bring a nice little bit of a coating behind it. And I'm just going to pour this right on top like so. Give a little bit more movement behind it. I'm going to finish it with just a little bit of oregano. Now I'm going to sprinkle this high, throw this down low. Boom, boom, boom. And this is going to bring some beautiful flavors. Again, a nice little bit of a pat here, so that way I can massage all of our flavors in, and it's consistent. And what's really nice is that you're not going to see clumpiness of it. You're just going to get beautiful flavor when it's roasting in our oven. Again, no salt is happening over here. Let me get a paper towel here to help me, as it's getting a little oily there. We're going to finish this with just a little bit of some cracked fresh black pepper here. And that's it. You don't need a lot of spices. You don't need a lot of flavors over here. You just want to accentuate what you got. So this is going to go into our oven here, and it's the same oven temperature, 425, and we're going to roast this for about 10 minutes here. It also allows a chance for me to see what's happening with our vegetables, which are really, really nicely starting to roast. You can start seeing them sweat and really soften. Don't forget, the whole recipe for everything I'm making today with all the ingredients and amounts is ready to print at DinnerDeas.com. Just scan the QR code down in the corner of the screen and you can follow along on your phone while you watch. So let's get into a nice little bit more vegetables over here. We have some spinach and some tomatoes. Really simple. We've got a nice hot pan here. A little bit of our oil is going to go straight into our pan here. We're going to throw in our tomatoes, and you can already see them starting to blister, and that's exactly what you want. We're going to add just a little bit of some cracked black pepper straight into our skillet here. We're going to throw in some fresh garlic. Give that a nice little bit of a quick sear. Look at that tomato right there. That's got my name on that one. And we're just going to add in our spinach here. Let this wilt down together. And with that nice hot pan, you could already start seeing it starting to wilt down so nicely. It smells fantastic. While our salmon and veggies are roasting and our spinach, tomatoes, and the quinoa are cooking, we're taking another quick break. When we come back, how to peel the peppers and make a perfect puree ahead on Dinner Deas. Welcome back to Dinner Deas with a heart-healthy idea for dinner today by request for Patty, who's watching us in Newport Richey. And I brought together a selection of superfoods in a dish of a Mediterranean salmon and quinoa bowl with a roasted red pepper and carrot ginger puree. Before the break, I got the salmon seasoned with olive oil, lemon juice, dried oregano, and black pepper. Simple ingredients. You have them inside your pantry. Only difference, no salt. Got into the oven alongside our red peppers and carrots. Then I heated some garlic and added tomatoes and spinach, letting it all wilt down. And I got our pan of peppers and carrots from the oven, and I covered them with plastic wrap, which helps loosen the skin from these peppers. Now, this right here is a natural way to allow them to soften a little bit more and make it so much easier to come undone. Now, these colors here are fantastic. These smells are incredible. Now, if you at home want to use a grill to be able to do that, you certainly can do that. Totally fine. But because it's going to be that heat from the flame, you may want to definitely do that step. Adding the plastic wrap is a surefire to create moisture, which now makes it really easy to just peel off any of that burnt skin here. And what you're left here is just this beautiful flesh of the roasted red peppers. Now, if you also said to yourself, well, Jeff, that's not already canned and jarred and stuff like that? It absolutely is. So you can totally do that if you really want to. But that's going to get expensive. And this right here is a surefire, easy way to get a beautiful, beautiful use of vegetables that you can control the entire process. So we're just going to peel some of that skin right off. And let that cool as well. Now, it's okay if you keep some of it on, because I want some of that char flavor, if you will, from where those natural sugars from our peppers came about. And that's it. That's perfect. So we're going to add just a little bit into our blender here, just a little bit of some liquid, and we're going to have some of that no sodium vegetable stock. We're going to now add in those beautiful roasted red peppers, the carrots, all those flavors, that ginger that got it then, and that ginger that comes back again. I reserved some from earlier, so that way I can bring that back in. I also reserved some of that beautiful lemon zest. We're going to add just a little bit more in. Just a little bit of some lemon juice. Brighten up this entire dish. And some fresh cracked black pepper. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, if you at home are saying to yourself, like, couldn't you use this as a dip? Add a little tahini, and you've got like your own little hummus right over there. Because to make my Mediterranean meal for your dinner, grab the recipes for every part of the dish, including the sauce and the salad at dinnerdeas.com. You can also watch this show again. If you missed any of it, just scan the QR code down there to get to us. All right, so we had the quinoa from earlier that we cooked up, and you could just see how beautiful and fluffy this is. Look at how this is just opened up so nicely. It's super, super beautiful and just begging to take on some more flavors. So we had our tomatoes and that spinach that we just had that beautiful sear with a little bit of that garlic. And we have our puree that we're going to add straight in. And all we're going to do here is just give this a nice little bit of a coating to bring more flavor for our quinoa and that beautiful salmon that's going to sit right on top of this. This looks absolutely out of this world. And look at all those colors. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely vibrant. It's going to pop. We've got a nice hot pan next here, folks, because we have pine nuts. These pine nuts here are going to bring a nice nuttiness behind this dish. And before you know it, we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful topping. One last quick break. Then when we come back, how to build the bowl for this delicious dinner ahead. Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. On the menu today, a Mediterranean meal that's heart healthy and a recipe by request for Patty and Charlie in Newport Richey. A Mediterranean salmon and quinoa bowl with a roasted red pepper and carrot ginger puree. Before the break, we peeled our peppers, letting them steam under plastic wrap to make it easier. Then adding them to the blender along with the carrots and ginger, more veggie broth, and lemon juice. We got that all combined and stirred it into our cooked quinoa along with the tomatoes and spinach, leaving us just enough time to toast a handful of pine nuts to add just a little bit of crunch. And as you can see, we're ready for the entire plating. So we've got this beautiful bed there of our quinoa that took on that puree and our spinach as well as those tomatoes. All we're gonna do here is we're gonna take that salmon that came out of our oven, simple flavors. A little oregano, a little lemon juice, a little lemon zest, black pepper, simple as anything. We're gonna just top it with just a nice little bit of an arugula salad that's simple. Olive oil, lemon juice, lemon zest, and just a little cracked black pepper. That's gonna sit right on there. And then we have, for added measure, our toasted pine nuts that give a nice little bit of crunch that I just tossed with that remaining lemon zest as well. So you get everything happening inside this dish. This is absolutely fantastic. Patty, you wrote us asking for a heart-healthy meal for your hubby, Charlie. My friend, enjoy. And let us know how you liked it. Don't forget, you can download this recipe at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to find us. I'm Jeff Philbin. See you next time with another idea for dinner, or as we call them, Dinner DeeAs.